a Uganda. I'm not a huge fan of the Uganda. I'm really not. Let's go ahead and where's my um she was okay. She's a Fiji, but the line itself, it has it's got the crawling smoke and stuff like that. Lime flavor powder, there you go. Um so it's got the gimmick, if you will, of the crawling smoke generator. It also has a submarine surveillance consumable, which helps to hunt down subs. But this ship, the biggest problem with this ship is that when it comes to your concealment, the smoke fire concealment is 5.4 kilometer, which isn't bad. Once you move from the Uganda at 7 up to the Auckland at 8, you go up to, I believe, 203 millimeter guns, 8-inch guns. When that happens, your gunfire penalty just explodes, which is really unfortunate because these ships are designed to hunt down subs, but you can't really use the crawling smoke to get to the sub quickly enough to blast it or whatever. I found personally from playing it in ranked, I had to play farther back and, just kind of at max range, if you will. Kiting away, all that kind of stuff. And only getting aggressive at the very end of the game. Otherwise, I'm just going to die and not do much for the team. Especially at tier 8, the Auckland. Here's the Auckland at tier 8. See the smoke fire penalty? 8 kilometer. Much bigger difference. And of course, now I just lost the I just lost the build. Damn. All right, give me a sec. Let me refind it. Just because you have sub surveillance doesn't make you a sub hunter. No, but that line is kind of built as a sub hunting line. If you've got a consumable that makes you do something or enables you to do something, then you kind of want to be able to do it, right? So I think that's kind of the problem that I run into with this particular line of ships. It's kind of an oxymoron. In addition, the HE is really abysmal. And to the point where, like, what are you... I feel like you're giving up too much to be able to have the crawling smoke and to be able to dunk on subs. So, Zath and the Art of Uganda Maintenance, right? You played mode shuffle, did some island hugging and lobbing in Uganda. Or with encounter. Makes sense. That's where I'm at in the line right now. And maybe today we can get some of that done. I was hoping to grind it in ranked, but ranked just resets, and now it's tier 6 and 7, and then it's 10s at silver, which kind of sucks. So anyways, let's take a look at your build here, Cthulhu. Main armaments mod 1, engine room protection, aiming systems, and propulsion. All fine. It's all fine. You're going to be stopping and going a lot because you need to get into smoke and get out of smoke and stuff like that. Your rudder shift time is 8.6 seconds in this fashion, so that's perfectly fine. You've gone for hydroacoustic over defensive fire, which is the better choice. And then you've got a standard captain, because there are no special captains. And it's only a 6-pointer. Whatever. You've gone last stand, priority target, and superintendent to begin with. That's good. That's part of the core build. And then you finish off in concealment expert. From there, you probably want to go to survivability expert and adrenaline rush. So we probably go like this. And that leaves you with 5 more points. 5 more points. So at that point, I might go for my consumables. I might do radiolocation to know where the nearest enemy is and finish it off with the consumable specialist. I might do something like that. Yeah, 6 points used. You're waiting for concealment. Exactly. Right. That makes sense. But yeah, I might finish it this way. Some people might say to go for top grade gunner, but I like using radiolocation to know where the enemies are. For flags, you've gone with ramming flag, detonation, fire reduction, flood reduction, hydrophone, and hydroacoustic search action time. That's actually really handy. I didn't even notice that hydrophone action time is here, and submarine surveillance prep and cooldown time. And that comes in handy for both anti-sub work and hydro. Okay, it's an expensive flag though. Same thing with this one. This one obviously is your smoke generator. And then you've got speed and consumables. Now, if you're grinding up the line and you've got a low point captain, you may want to consider running fewer flags just because it's not as combat effective, but, or, you know, the opposite might be true. You want to run more flags to ensure that you can, you know, kind of compensate for the lack of high skilled or high power commander. Either is up to you. All right. This game was with blue boosters to finish. Oh, you're finishing the grind. So Cthulhu, one thing that Cthulhu likes to do is he likes to play a lot of co-op. And then when he's almost done with the grind and he feels confident in understanding the ship, then he'll go and he'll venture into random battles. It's not a bad idea, frankly. Obviously, it takes longer, time-wise, to do this than if you were to just grind it out in randoms. But I kind of like the idea of learn the ship first and feel like you know what you're doing, then go into randoms. With the mode shuffle right now, or ranked battles, those are other opportunities to grind up the ship and not have to worry about stats. The way I accumulate more credits per XP gained, and there isn't as much of a payment crunch when you get there. Right, yeah, if you're just doing the co-op stuff, that makes sense. Alright, well, you are top tier. There's 2 carriers. Okay. Lots of battleships. I'd be very concerned about that matchmaking. Colorado, Florida, Bayern, New York. Peter Velicki will absolutely wreck you. Exactly, Wolfie. Exactly. It's not a bad idea. So, I'd be extremely worried about that. No subs to deal with. The 2 cruisers, or whatever. You're detected by the Farragut. I'd be looking south here and shooting at the Farragut. Also, I would use the opportunity to slow down and smoke. So that you can take advantage of the ability to shoot for free and maneuver out of there, which is what you're doing. Hydro, I don't know that I would use Hydro here. Farragut is so far away. He doesn't have the torpedo range, right? Farragut's range is what, 6.4? Yeah, 6.4. Also have hit that. So I don't think you need the Hydro just yet. The Farragut gets away with far too much for far too long. Fire says goodnight. Are you talking about your Farragut or the enemy Farragut? You're about to smash into the Peter Velicki, so I might stop and rewind here, or reverse. If you want to creep forward, you might get in torp range. Yeah, but if you looked at where the Farragut was heading, he was sailing away. There's always a possibility that he would have turned back around. Possibility. And generally, you are correct. If you are smoking, you also want your Hydro banging away. So, I understand that too. There, Farragut? Okay. Well, there Mutsuki just died. Very painful death.
Smoke screen set.
Smoke screen's over. Now's your opportunity to maneuver a bit, but I don't like that you're moving out of the smoke just right now. I might have stayed in the smoke until it completely expired. That being said, it doesn't really matter too much. You could ask the Farragut for smoke right now, but I don't know if he's paying attention. The way he's playing, I'm guessing he's not. Oh, good song choice. Rip that Peter Vlicki. Also, I'd probably be shooting at the Colorado right now, just because he's low health. Assuming you have a shot on him. You haven't really looked at him much. There you go. See? Yeah. And nobody's targeting you, so you can get away with whatever the heck you want right now. Yeah, no. I wouldn't be salty with him either. And your assumption is what my assumption would be too, right? Newer player, screwing around, whatever. Can't do anything out of that. Torps here aren't going to do anything because you don't have the range, I don't think, right? Or do you? What's the range? 12? Okay. Fine. Luck chuck him. Why not? For some odd reason, I thought they were shorter range. And Bayern looks at you, and you survive. Wow. Okay, Bayern DCP'd, so now's a good chance to slow down. I would be stopping here. Try to take advantage of the opportunity. I wouldn't start reversing. I would probably slow to like a quarter or stop. This ship is everything the Fiji could have been. I suppose. Fiji is pretty powerful, though, either way, so... No need for you to be moving at full speed here. I might go down to 3/4. Especially if nobody's targeting you right now. I'd stop. I'd stop. Plus, your smoke is available in 5 seconds. Nope, actually, it's available now. 2 torpedo hits on the Bayern, and he DCP'd, so he's probably going to flood out. I'd be slowing and shooting here. This is a perfect opportunity to stop and smoke shoot, but... I do like the follow-up shots on the Bayern, though. Well, and that's why you luck chuck him. If you've got the range, if you've got the legs to hit with them, you might as well luck chuck them, because when you need them again, they're probably going to be available. So I think that was a good choice. If the torp range is only 8 kilometers or 6, then there's no point in luck chucking them. But if they're 12, hell yeah, brother, you know? I don't think you should have shot there. You got no chance in hell of killing this Farragut, and shooting just gets you detected. You love the Fiji, but a Fiji with HE and these torps would be glorious. I completely agree with you. Some people do get complacent, and then... surprise! Hydro now. I'm curious about that. You're not smoking. I wouldn't hydro right now. You only have 1 torpedo destroyer. Couple hits to annoy him. I guess. I mean, the enemy doesn't seem to care that you exist, so that's kind of nice. Oh. They're torp bombers. Yeah, okay, I can see that, because the Hydra would pick up the torps earlier. Okay. Even then, I mean, you see the torp bombers, you can generally, you know, you can generally dodge the torpedoes earlier or whatever, so. That's why the AHE? No, I would keep firing HE. I don't know what you mean by that. You're talking about the Hydro? If you're thinking torpedo bombers, what I might do is hold off on the Hydro until the bombers are, like, attacking you. You know what I mean? And then you could use it. Minimap awareness regarding
Concentrate
planes.
fire on the designated target.
It would help. It would help. All right, so Farragut, last seen heading in your direction. And you're slowing down. I'm not sure why you're going to slow and smoke here. This I don't like. There's nothing for you to do. Yes, you'll break line of sight with the Farragut, but your Hydro is about to expire, so you're... You know... I don't know what you're going to gain by this. I guess throw him off? But you could easily throw him off by just YOLOing straight at him. Slowing down like this might actually give him time to run away from you. I would absolutely do it if I would absolutely do that if you had a carrier over you and you were, you know, trying not to deal with whatever. Smoke, it's not the Farragut you're breaking line of sight with? Who else would it be? Carrier? I mean, Ranger backed up. That's got to be the Farragut. Reminds me, I need to set up the render tool.
Ship is on fire.
Uganda. The big ships? What big ships? There's only the 2 carriers and a battleship left. Yeah, see, it's definitely the Farragut. The Farragut was like here.
It's
definitely the Farragut that was spotting you. Yeah, you warned him. Right, I saw that. That was a good idea to warn him. At this point, I would just turn and YOLO straight at him. I mean, you don't need to worry about smoke and stuff like that. No, Shats, we haven't done the draw yet. We'll do it after this this replay is done. Yeah, that should work, and then we'll do one final giveaway draw. He's at full speed, so I really feel like you gotta lead a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, if they kept him spotted, that's good. Comment him, absolutely. Also, your engines are broken. You might want to fix them.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Fortunately for you, this carrier isn't really spot on with his torpedoes. Although you did just drift back into it, so... Oops. If you hadn't lost... If you had engines working, you probably would have dodged that torpedo. So, I get that you're saving the repair in case you get flooded, but at the same time, you wouldn't have taken that torpedo if you had engines available. So, it's kind of 6 in one, half a dozen in the other, right? Alright, just the 2 carriers left, and despite all of those battleships in the game, you managed to dodge all of them, so congratulations there.
Our team has taken the lead.
Now, honestly, I would head straight down. Forget about the cap. Head straight down. You're gonna win. 2 ships. The 6? Just head straight down. Head straight south. Gun down the carriers. Because you don't have a heal, you can't afford to flood and burn for too long. I agree with you there. I agree with you there.
Problem solved, sir.
But here you DCP'd 1 fire, and fortunately for you, you did not get punished. Also, here's a great opportunity to spam AP, because he's broadside to you, and it's the Ranger. So, the Ranger, you want to be hitting right about here. Right about here is the weakest point on the Ranger. So, switch to AP, and just demolish him. And the reason I suggest to go to AP is because while you are doing Citadel damage with your HE shells, your AP damage will be much higher. AP shouldn't overpenetrate. Ranger's pretty wide. So I doubt that you'll overpen the Ranger. Not at this range, at least. If you were right next to him, sure. You also have the ability to smoke, and you're not taking it. All right. Well, there's our death pick, everybody. You did end up killing the carrier, though. Yeah, too late for smoke now. At the onset of the engagement, you could have smoked, and you probably would have lost sight of the carrier, but you probably would have lived as well. So, the winning kill, indeed. All right, let's see if I can't. There it is. I was like, where'd the ranger go? Those of you guys that are newer to the channel, when people send in replays and they die in those replays, we take screenshots of them as our death pick. And assuming the replay makes it to YouTube, we make that the cover pick. So there we go. Great name of the player you killed. First place. Very good. Very good. I'm really surprised you were able to get away with what you got away with, frankly. But the Bayern wasn't able to take advantage of shooting you. Peter Vilecki just ignored that you were there because there was somebody else in front that he was focused on. Torpedoes were never a threat. And this Colorado you hit 5 times and they were all shatters, which is hilarious. You make a death pick and send to someone. Well, I have plenty of death picks, yeah. Let's take a look at the replay render. Go ahead and close out of the game. I really like your choice of going behind the island to start. I think that made a lot of sense. You're fortunate that your team, the enemy chose to shoot at your Farragut instead of you, because that could have been a very different situation. Let me put it this way: when I play this ship, and those battleships, they just hammer me as soon as I'm spotted. They're like, die. So that's been my experience, at least. Now here's where you had the ability to slow down. You don't even remember paying the actors. They gladly did this for free, is what you're saying, huh? Yeah, see the Farragut? Do you see what he did? Your teammate Farragut smoked and turned all the way around, made a comma maneuver. And that's how you know that that's a person that's used to playing low tier ships, because that's what they do at the low tiers, and it's a really bad habit to get into. Like to try to death strike those new, yeah, exactly. Good into the grind, absolutely. What's the best way to use smoke on this particular ship line? You want to be kiting away so that you can use your smoke at full speed and still be able to shoot, like over your shoulder. A lot of players use smoke like it's a destroyer, like they slow down and stop and smoke while they're heading towards something that's spotting them. And if you can get yourself into a kiting away, that's about the enemy, just about your ally destroyer. When you smoke like that and make a full turn, you put yourself at risk of taking torpedoes, and you're not even using the smoke either. And that was the game-ending shot, yeah. So, very nice game there, Cthulhu. I'd love if you guys have any ideas for titles for this. Um, so I'll try to pause it, chats, when we see that Farragut do the smoke maneuver, because I think he does it twice in this game, actually. Getting away with murder. I'd like to report a murder. I'm surprised the Farragut didn't smoke there, for example. That usually death by Uganda. Gotta love Kill Bill. Okay, so he didn't smoke like I thought he would. Here, I think this part here is the part where he's gonna smoke. Chutzpah? What does that mean? Okay, so Shats, take a look at the Farragut right now. All right, he's at full speed. He's smoking, and he's got a torpedo squad. He didn't even smoke until he was near death. And it's like you've got what 3 or 4 charges of smoke. So why aren't you using them? Now, watch the pattern. He's gonna go full left rudder. All right, and then. So here's the thing. If this is an enemy destroyer that he runs into, because we see this a lot at the low tiers. If it's an enemy destroyer he runs into that's got torpedoes, do you see how he pops the smoke? And do you see how he's basically going back behind where he was spotted? He's putting himself back in the torpedo lane of an enemy destroyer that says, oh my god, there's a destroyer there, and just luck chucks torpedoes. A better thing for him to do is to slow down, get to a half, smoke, and then throttle up and change direction. Because it really throws off the aim of the opposing destroyer. In this case, too, because he's going full speed, it's going to keep him detected because he's not in the smoke. The carrier flies over the smoke and on the other side and detects him. Normally, what happens is they go back into that smoke screen right there and they stop. And that's the most common way that destroyers die in low tiers. Instead, he kept moving forward because he's scared. And right there, he gets detected by the carrier because he left the smoke. Chutzpah is I thought it was a Jewish word. Taking an impossible gamble and getting away with it. Smoke attracts torpedoes. That's right. Now you got it. He like accidentally pressed. He didn't. I don't think it was an accident because he used it as soon as he was down to like 10% health. The problem is that he should have been using it a lot earlier, and for whatever reason chose not to. It'd be nice if he would have sent that replay in because I could give him feedback on that too, of course. But it's all right. This is not his replay. This is Cthulhu's replay of the Uganda. And Chutzpah, you know what? I'm going to use that as the title if that one comes out because people might click on it and be like, "What the heck does that mean?" So there you go. All right, Cthulhu, thank you for sending that replay.